Hello to you at the Russian House. Thank you very much, Tatiana, for inviting me to take part in your festival. I'm very grateful to have this opportunity to greet you and say hello from Florida, where I live. My name is Hari. I have been associated with Russian people since 1977, when I first went in the winter. Actually, it was January of 1977, and spent many years going back and forth and doing many things. So I feel a great affinity to what is going on over there, and therefore I am honored to speak to you today. This day, Guru Purnima, is interesting in many ways. Of course, one can say many things about Guru, but I'm sure you've heard most of them. Many people have spoken about it. It's an important subject. As far as I'm concerned, a guru is a teacher, somebody who's a guide, who's a mentor, who cares and works with you to develop your own spirituality as best as possible. One of the more important aspects of this is a discussion that could be had it's revealed through the discussion that could be had by speaking about the difference between teaching and learning. Teaching, if you speak about Guru as a teacher, obviously the point that is most relevant is the teaching aspect. But teaching is not exactly as obvious as it seems. For example, if I was only absorbed in teaching, would spend my time perfecting my delivery, what I say, coming up with the proper materials, the proper knowledge to be given, and how I would do it, the persona I would present would be very important. On the other hand, I consider not only equally important, but even more important, the process of learning. For a teacher is actually only as valuable or successful as the students learning what they have learned, how they have learned it, how they have realized it, imbibed it into their life, how they experience the subject matters which are presented as important. I feel the learning process is quite large. It's much more expansive than simply something connected to a teacher and a student. You learn a lot in a teacher-student relationship, but you don't necessarily get all of the ingredients that will propel you to spiritual realization and experiences. I feel that active experiences, for example, connecting with the divine, connecting with the deity, connecting with that spiritual energy, absorbing oneself in that spiritual energy, and sharing that spiritual energy, evolving to a state of awareness where one feels in this empathetic awareness other personalities, other living beings, not only human, beyond the human, or even the animal species, within nature, plants. This awareness of life, this awareness of the spiritual energy, which we all share, and which is the fundamental essence of who we are, is the most important aspect of existence. This awareness, this consciousness, this connection that we can have with nature, with the divine energy as it manifests in this world, with this divine energy as it manifests within each and every one of us. We are able to connect to, embrace, in an empathetic and caring manner, any interaction we may have with others, desiring to be of service, desiring to be in a position where our energy can project or be emanated in a way which is compatible with others in a win-win kind of environment, for that actually, in my opinion, reflects most properly the mentality or the feeling or the way in which divine energy is sent to all of us by the Supreme, by the deities, by those who possess the power of creation, maintenance, destruction of all things within this universe and all things beyond, the source of all existence. So I feel that they project towards us always this divine energy of connection, of awareness, of empathy, of caring, of support and facilitation. Our capacity to understand this is limited to our evolution, whether or not we are aware enough to feel that energy, to connect with it. And one of the ways in which that manifests is how we share our spirituality, how we share our energy, how we share that love we receive from the divine to others in an attitude of being of service, in an attitude of wishing to be there for others. Now, a teacher can explain this to you. A teacher can inspire you to see that way. A teacher can never cause you to see that way. A teacher cannot cause your evolution. A teacher can facilitate it. Facilitate your development of awareness, of your own awareness. Awareness, sure, has a generic term to it, to be aware. It's something we can define, it's something we can talk about. We can even speak of it in terms of the symptoms of awareness. We can talk of it as the main feature of consciousness, spiritual consciousness even. But training that awareness to the degree that we may feel an empathetic connection, empathy in that we feel others, we feel others' energies, we feel others' emotions, their needs, their desires, how they wish to be of service, and the unique qualities and characteristics that they deeply wish to express, but may or may not know how, or may not have had the experience to do so. So this empathetic awareness is part of our spiritual consciousness, part of our spiritual energy. It cannot be taught. It can only be experienced. Now, someone may say, how do you experience that which you don't have? But that's not correct in this sense, because we all are spiritual beings. We are all spiritual energy. And that empathy, that compassion, that connection to others who are like us in their own spiritual energy. We all share that spiritual energy of the divine beings. We share this same vibration and frequencies. So when we come to understand our own spirituality and we become aware in our own spiritual energy, we automatically gain the capacity to experience and to understand, to resonate in tune with the divine and other persons. So we do not actually have to teach how to do this. We have to teach how not to be that which we are not, how not to be that which we pretend to be as a material being, or in our social designated existence, or working hard to make money, or attempting to be something. If we relax into the divinity that is all around us, we relax into that environment within which we naturally exist. We let go of all things which are superfluous to our energy. And we just feel. We are able to then understand the divinity, understand the divine nature that the deities present to us, that the divine beings present to us, and embrace that in a sharing environment. And when we do that, that natural state automatically includes all the spiritual evolution we could ever want. So, Guru's job is to facilitate self-discovery, to facilitate the understanding within each of us of what it is that's valuable to us and what it is that is not. To embrace that value and to let go of that which is not valuable. And to practice, to meditate on, to experience little by little, more and more, the depths of our own spirituality, our own spiritual consciousness, and learn the art of reaching out and embracing the divine and drawing that divine energy to us. We don't even have to be miners. We're not drawing from a big hole or a well or some reservoir. We're just opening our arms and allowing that divine energy to flow to us. Because the characteristic of these divine beings is that they are sending that love throughout the universe, throughout existence, continuously. All we have to do is tune to it by letting go of everything that we normally hold on to because we think we have to, and just accepting that energy of God and just letting it drift over us and embracing it, and then reaching out with our own energy to embrace it and create an usness by which the living entity and the divine meet in between in a spiritual of universal usness. And in this way, our perfection as living beings can manifest. I feel that if ever I have to be known as teacher, or if ever I'm placed in the situation of education, my main task is to help the individual find their awareness, find themselves, to embrace their own spiritual energy, embrace the energy of the divine, and to experience, because I can't teach them experience. I can't teach them anything other than the process of how to let go and embrace that divine energy. So, teaching is one thing, but it is not everything. Learning, the process of acceptance, the process of embracing the experience and connecting with the divine is ultimately a personal one. And ultimately, that situation which every guru wishes on their disciple, wishes for their disciple. And therefore, on this day, we recognize Guru Purnima for those who have mentored us, guided us, and assisted us to come to the platform of self-awareness of the divine energy we are, the divine nature that we are, and our consciousness of spirituality that can reach out and connect to nature, the divinity, the devas that are all around us, and the supreme Radha and Krishna, and all that they represent, so that we may find that oneness of essence, that oneness of being, of that quality of essence of God that we all share. Thank you again so much. I hope that you have a great day and that everything you wish for, all your desires are fulfilled, and that we may meet again. Bye.